Welcome to LUTV News InFocus, where we feature interesting topics on campus and in the community and in the world of culture. I am Clinton Essien. Lamar University soccer head coach Steve Holeman is entering his 6th season. He is the first LU coach to be named Southeastern Conference Women's Soccer Coach of the Year. Holeman took the Cardinals to their first Southeastern Conference championship and NCAA tournament appearance in 2017. Coach Holeman is here to talk about his past accomplishment and what he's doing with the Lady Cardinals. How you doing today?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. You used to coach for Ole Miss. So during your time at Ole Miss, you recorded league's 4th best winning percentage. Can you tell me about your time at Ole Miss?
Yeah, definitely. Ole Miss brings back great memories. That's where kind of I got my coaching start. So I was there for 15 years. Back from 1995 to 2010, I was fortunate to begin my coaching career at a young age, and I was also fortunate to have quite a bit of success while I was at Ole Miss. So it's where I met my wife, where I had my kids. Great memories from there. But 3 Western Division titles, 4 NCAA appearances. So was fortunate, competitive conference, and fortunate to do well there.
Great accomplishments. Almost your entire career was spent at Southeastern Conference. What was the difference between the Southeastern Conference and the Southern Conference?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is the level of play. So the SEC is one of the premier athletic conferences in the country in all sports, and so the level is extremely high. With that said, there's definite similarities in terms of the parity within the conference. There's a lot of resources you get at SEC programs, and they kind of match the expectations. And the same in the Southland, parity within the conference. You got teams at the top, you got teams at the bottom, and you're all competing for a tournament title and a regular season title, and ultimately a chance at the NCAA tournament.
What conference was more challenging?
Well, I would say they were challenging in different ways. The SEC was certainly competitive. In my time at Ole Miss, Florida won the national championship. We had several teams go to the Final Four. So across the board, it was a little more challenging, probably there. But with that said, it's all relative. So in the Southland, there were teams that we had to overcome and compete and defeat and for a chance to win the title. So it was kind of a different challenge for us.
So what about the Southern Conference and the WAC Conference? Because I know a few teams did move from the Southern Conference with Lamar to the WAC. Is there still challenging, or is there any competition between those teams that y'all did play in the Southern Conference? Now both teams or a couple of teams are in the WAC. Is there any competition between y'all?
Well, certainly. This is our first year in the WAC,
right.
and this year not a whole lot has changed simply because Lamar, Sam Houston State, Stephen F. Austin, and Abilene Christian have all gone to the WAC as well. And this year in women's soccer, we're playing a double round robin. So in addition to those teams, we play UTRGV and Chicago State, home and away. So obviously a lot of similar opponents,
right.
But it's still competitive right now. Us and SFA are top 2 after the first round of round robin, but we still have 5 more games to go. So I think it'll be, a race to the finish.
So can you explain what a double round robin is for the people that doesn't know a lot of information about soccer?
So the WAC is divided into 2 divisions. We have the Southwest Division, which we're in, and then we have the Western Division with the other teams. There's 6 teams in our division, so we play the other 5 teams twice. I mean, playing each of them would be a round robin, or the double means we play them home and away. So we have 10 conference matches.
With your arrival here at Lamar, 15 players have been invited to play for national teams. How does that make you feel as a coach?
Well, it's part of the recruiting process. So we make an attempt to go after players at a very, very high level. So part of that is our niche, we felt, is international recruiting, and certainly looking at Texas first and the local area. And then we've had a handful of junior college players that have done really well here. So it's been great. Not only have we had players that represent their national team at different levels, some with the full national team, as we talked about Juana Plata and Esther Ocaranco, who just graduated last year. We've also had players represent their national team at youth levels, and we've had 3 players over the course of the last 4 or 5 years that have gone on to play professional soccer. So,
what's the difference between home games and on the road games?
Well, everybody always talks about the home field advantage, and there certainly is when you have a chance to play in front of your family, your friends. So it's nice to be able to sleep in your own bed and get up and play in a familiar environment. But at the same time, road games can be productive as well. It's a good opportunity for teams to get to know each other, stay in the hotel, and kind of it's a bonding experience. So we try to take advantage of both opportunities, whether we're home or away.
On the home games, how do y'all prep for home games? Like, what is the procedure? What is the routine that goes into leaving from Lamar to on the road?
Sure. For home games or away games, we always talk about our upcoming opponent. We put most of the focus on us and where we need to become better. So it's a process of evaluating our previous game, where we need to improve, and then assessing our future opponent, determining where we could potentially exploit them, what their strengths are. We do a pretty good job, a detailed job of scouting the opponent. We show video, we do a report, and we want our team to be familiar with what it's going to look like when they step on the field.
How are y'all preparing for conference play?
Well, we're halfway through, right? So we just take it one game at a time. It's easy to kind of look to the end. This year's a little different in that 2 divisions, double round robin, top 3 from each division make the conference tournament. So we certainly want to be able to accomplish that task of making the first ever WAC conference tournament for this program. But at the same time, we want to compete for a divisional title, but we do that one game at a time. And the upcoming opponents we've already seen once this year, so now it's time to get after them again.
During the time of recruitment, how do you recruit players from either, is it more important to recruit players from home or away?
Well, it's, we cast a broad net, so we look literally worldwide. We have players from 7, 8 different countries on our team, and then we have players from here in Beaumont. So our job as a staff is to find the best players we can. So it's a constant process, looking at players that are current seniors right now and juniors and even as young as sophomores until we're able to recruit them. But constant evaluation, watch a lot of video. Last year we were in COVID, we were in a dead period, so we couldn't get on the road much. But now we're back on the road, evaluating, assessing games. So it's just, it's a fun process, but it's a lot of work, and ultimately we do our best to not just get great players, but we want great people as part of our program as well.
Got you. And not to put you on the spot, but who's your favorite senior this semester?
Well, you know what? I mean, Juana Plata just interviewed before this, and she's going to be watching this, so I'm going to go ahead and say Juana. Yeah, let's go with Juana.
Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
Thank you for watching LUTV News in Focus. To see more content from LUTV News, follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.